Hey guys, it is day 42 and today we're talking about the law of compensation. And I had some great clarity around this several years ago that enabled me to keep taking action even though I wasn't getting paid. And that understanding came from knowing, hi Lonnie, that understanding came from knowing that no matter what I do, I'm going to get compensated for it in the future and to just calm down. The old brain I used to have, and maybe some of you guys are still struggling with that, is always needing to be immediately compensated. A day's work, a day's dollar, right? A day's wage. I mean, that's what so many of us were trained in doing, and so we really expect that compensation so quickly that as entrepreneurs or business owners, or you're developing a relationship or a new workout routine, that the compensation that you're earning is going to come further down the road. And once you understand that you're getting paid today for weeks or months ago, or maybe even years ago, the work you did, you're now getting paid today, understand that the work you do today is going to create your future income. And for the longest time, when I was still building my business, while I was still working at, Jiffy Lube and Sears and trying to do the auto mechanic stuff on the side, and we're so used to, hey, you turn the car in, it works, you're supposed to pay me now. So when I started doing this stuff online and I started doing more real estate, and that compensation was pushed 3, 6, 9 months out before I got paid, I really had to work on my mind and not create anxiety or frustration or fear that money wasn't coming. And so what ended up creating the most clarity and peace of mind for me was an essay that Mr. Emerson wrote, one of Napoleon Hill's friends. He wrote this on the law of compensation, and he basically said that no matter what you do, you will always be compensated. And the longer the compensation takes to get to you, the more interest it has accrued. So I sat back and I remember thinking, well, if that's the case, then it's actually better that it takes longer to get to me because more of that interest will have accrued. And it allowed me to, once I knew that and I was calm with that, it allowed me to just get back to work, helping others, focusing on building the business, on the duplication side of things. And that calmness and that confidence that came from that understanding actually brought more business. It brought more people to me and allowed me to serve more and more people. So this is what I want to remind you of today. Law of compensation, day 42 of our 60 Sunrises to Success, is all the work you're doing, you will be compensated for. And it's not for you to really figure out where the compensation is coming from, because a lot of times you'll be really surprised. You might help a group of people over here, and then all of a sudden on this side of things, you're being compensated extra. There's always a balance. There's always a balance. So the key is to always do more than you get paid for, because that creates an investment in your future. And you always get to be compensated by that. So that really helped me. Compensation and understanding that if you want to get paid more, it's not about demanding a raise or going on strike. It's about bringing more value and developing your skills, and then just knowing, hey, it's coming down the road. It's all good. Some people like to say it's put into our vibrational escrow. And always go the extra mile. Okay, even when I was working at these crappy jobs in terrible conditions, right? The winter is -4 degrees and the summer was 104 degrees. It was terrible. And through all of that, one of the things that I got compensated for was maintaining a positive mental attitude. There were plenty of things to complain about. The weather, the work, the temperature, the customers, the old cars, whatever. There was plenty of stuff to complain about. But I knew that complaining wasn't getting me anywhere. So instead, I complimented. I complimented all the guys on the great work. I complimented the customers on their cars. I complimented the people on cleaning the shop. I was just trying to be complimentary everywhere I went, because I understood that the law of compensation, what you put out, you get back. I didn't want complaints. I wanted compliments. So I kept putting more out. And you got a great point there, Cameron. Delayed gratification versus instant gratification. The more it's delayed, the bigger and better it becomes. So, another way of putting it is understanding the difference between cause and effect, right? If you force the cause, then you can enjoy the effects. And that's another way of understanding the law of compensation. Okay, there's always a balance. The scale always balances. And so you could put working on something for years and years and years, and if you're not getting financially rewarded for it now, it is going to come in the future. And bringing that calmness and relaxed energy to your work allows you to work harder, longer, faster, put in more value and focus on others, and try to shed that employee mentality of I got to get paid now. I got to get paid now. That's not serving you, and it puts you in a different vibrational frequency that actually kind of repels people, doesn't attract them to you. So I want to put that out there, and whatever you're studying, or whatever you want, that's what we should be studying. If you want more financial security, study finances. If you want more relationships, stronger relationships, study that. If you want happiness, study happiness. And whatever you study, that's what you're going to be compensated with as well. It's a pretty interesting concept, this law of compensation. I'd like to know your thoughts on it. It created a lot of anxiety for me until I understood it, and it's kind of like overcompensation too when you think about what a farmer does. When you go plant your crops, the harvest that comes from it, I mean, it's delayed, right? You put something in the ground, it's weeks and months before you get something. Depending on what you put in the ground, it might be years or decades. So for that stuff to come back to you, if you notice, it's got all these extra seeds, and so you got enough to eat, you got enough to go to waste, and enough to replant. So we're always being overcompensated for our work. It's just the delay most people get confused by. The delay doesn't mean you did something wrong. It's just that's how it was supposed to be. It's supposed to be delayed, and it grows. And and as long as you are focusing on value and adding value, and John Maxwell said the best way to add value to people is to value people. And that's really what this new world of entrepreneurship and business ownership is all about, is adding value, exchanging value, and trying to be as valuable as possible, and knowing that the compensation's coming. It's always going to balance itself out. So, thanks for tuning in, guys. Martin Potter, I love you. You're always a little late. I don't know what it is with your notifications, but I still love you. And that's day 42, law of compensation. Go the extra mile, and you will activate the law of compensation in your favor. If you feel like you're not getting paid what you're worth at your job, because I definitely know that I was not getting paid what I was worth. I was getting paid $12 an hour. That's, I don't know how I did it. I was not getting paid what I was worth. So eventually, these new relationships, these new business ventures that I was starting, started paying off. And so stay focused. You're building something now. I believe in you. Stay focused. Build it. And remember, take back your existence or die like a punk. All right, guys. Peace out. Another beautiful day. We'll see you tomorrow.